Hey, how the heck are you today? So today we're going to take a look at some of the more bizarre, unusual items that are sold in commissaries and canteens in state penitentiaries across the United States. Now, these items are not sold in every penitentiary, but these items are for sale in quite a few different penitentiaries across the United States. And you may be surprised on what they actually offer for sale in a lot of commissaries, canteens, same thing across the United States. So first, before we start off, we need to make sure we understand that certain commissaries and canteens in prisons have a limit on the amount of an item you can purchase. You can't purchase like 100 of something. You can't purchase even 50. You may be limited on no more than 20 packs of ramen. You may be limited on no more than two of one item or one of one item. But they also, certain commissaries, canteens, limit inmates on the total dollar value of items that they can purchase at one time. If an inmate goes and purchases, $200 worth of commissary at one time, and they come back to the housing unit with, a giant bag of commissary, it's setting them up to be robbed, to have their items stolen by other inmates. And it doesn't matter how big, how small, or how well connected, or what that inmate is in for. If it sets them up, and theft is one of the largest issues that happens next to fighting, happens in the prison system. And we're only looking at the state prison system, not the federal system, nor are we looking at county jails or city jails, only state prisons. Oh, come on now. Nobody cares about this. Why would we care what an inmate buys on commissary? This is complete crap. Man, I'm so glad that I'm going to unsubscribe right now. Right. So let's jump into it today. First item is earplugs. You may be surprised to find out that they sell earplugs on the commissary. And why would they need to sell earplugs, you may ask? To maybe drown out the noise, to start with. Prisons are notoriously a loud place. People are screaming and hollering and banging at all hours of the day and night. Just because they turn the lights off, or there's a time where they have to go into their cells and lock down, at night, doesn't mean that people are quiet. Inmates, complain a lot about the time that they've had to serve, where all at hours of the night they hear people crying. They hear people yelling. They hear those who, are just making ruckus because they want to disturb other people. And that's something that commonly happens. So they sell earplugs. The average price for a pair of earplugs is 57 cents a piece. Now, give or take, a little bit on each and every one of these. Because the price goes up on, depending upon where they are and how they actually, acquire the earplugs themselves. Another thing you'll notice is a lot of these items have really odd totals, where they, it could be, 91 cents or 57 cents in the earplugs. They try to squeeze every possible penny out of the inmate, who then has to, ask, their family for more, or they have to work longer to actually get the item. The second item on the list that you may be surprised by, and a lot of people find to be really bizarre, is prayer rugs. Now, a prayer rug to you may be bizarre that they would sell something like that, but it is mainly used for those who are of the Islamic faith, but they cannot restrict other inmates from. They would be held to pay. If someone of the Islamic faith saw someone desecrating the actual prayer rug. So there are inmates who do purchase them, because otherwise their cells are just a concrete floor, and they'd rather step out of their bunk in the morning onto a nice little rug as opposed to a cold, concrete floor. But the average price of a prayer rug across the United States is $13.27. Now, the next item you might not find bizarre at all, but there are several items that are lumped in with this item. The next item is Band-Aids. Now, you can understand why an inmate might need Band-Aids. Maybe they get a nick, shaving, or they get, they were working and they got a cut on their finger. They might need a Band-Aid for that. No reason to go to medical for that. But the other items that are sold along with Band-Aids in quite a few commissaries, canteens across the United States are gauze pads and compression bandages. Why would you need compression bandages and gauze pads? Is it because they're trying to self-medicate themselves, take care of themselves so they don't have to go to medical? And we need to understand how medical works in prison systems first. When an inmate wants to go to either, have their eyes checked or get new glasses, go to dental or go to medical, a lot of prisons charge the inmate a copay to go see an actual doctor, to see a dentist, to see, an optometrist, to get glasses. So they had, instead of paying for the copay, maybe they're like, well, I have a sprain or a cut or something like that, and they just try to take care of themselves, self-medicate in that instance, not taking drugs. But they do sell aspirin as well on, or Advil and Aleve on quite a few different commissaries. Average price for Band-Aids is everywhere from 12 cents to 97 cents for a package of 10 to 12 Band-Aids. When it comes to gauze and compression bandages, it averages from $2.91 to $3.97 for each one. Really? Come on. They didn't sell that stuff in, where I went to prison. Unsubscribe. Next item on the list that you might find bizarre or unusual that are sold on commissaries across the United States is essential oils. Now, these are obviously meant for, incense burners, for prayer, for different religions. But a lot of prisoners will use this as their side hustle. And what they'll do is they'll take essential oils. They're sold in little 1.2 ounce bottles. And the essential oils, they'll mix different ones together to make kind of a cologne. And that is their hustle. They'll take toilet paper and roll it up into like a square, into a little package, and then pour the essential oil on it, and then wrap in cellophane, and then sell that to other inmates so they can dab it on themselves so they smell good. Maybe they're going to visitation and they can't get cologne. And most of the body washes and deodorants are unscented. So they want to smell good for visitation. They're human beings as well. Don't forget, we don't want to take away all the human dignity from an inmate who is in prison, because 70% of all those who are in prison right now today will be out on the street within 5 years from now. 90% of all inmates will eventually be released. So if we strip them of all their human dignity, and the ability to, have that small little thing, of smelling good, it's going to come back to haunt us in the end. Some of the more popular scents that they sell are frankincense, myrrh, and lilac. And again, the side hustle is someone will mix that with a little bit of water or something else, and then put it on the little, gauze pads, or maybe that's what they use the gauze pads for. But normally it's on toilet paper, and they wrap it up in saran wrap, and so the inmate can dab it on themselves. Next item on here that you might be surprised is jewelry. Yes, they sell jewelry on some commissaries, and they sell silver necklaces, and they don't sell gold. They sell silver necklaces only, and they also sell pendants, religious pendants, Star of David, crosses, and stuff like that. But they're sold separately. The necklace and the actual pendant are sold on commissaries across the United States. The average price is $31 to $39. For if the higher price is going for the actual pendants themselves, but they sell them on commissaries. Next is flags of different countries. Now, they do not sell state flags. And no, you might ask, do they sell the Dixie flag? And that would be an absolute no. But they sell flags of different countries. No swastikas, no, Dixie flags, nothing that can offend another inmate by the sight of it. Now, you would think that people would still fight over, I have an Italian flag, I have an Irish flag, maybe they're going to fight with each other. I have a Poland flag or whatever, but they're flags of different countries. And those average about $6 to $7 a piece. And I could not, and did not say on most of the commissaries what the size is, but it looks to be a little bit bigger than a 5x7. But they're flags. Next item you might be surprised about are disinfectant wipes, like Lysol wipes, are sold on commissaries. The commissary for the disinfectant wipes is about $4 to $6 for a little package of disinfectant wipes, but they also sell hemorrhoid wipes. Obviously, they don't want to use one in place of the other, but they do sell preparation H hemorrhoid wipes, which are $8 to $12 a piece. Again, they're in a small little plastic package, like a travel package that you would get in your supermarket. But they do sell disinfectant wipes and hemorrhoid wipes. Wow. So there's a lot of different uses for those items. But the next item is something you may very well would never guess that they sell on commissaries across the United States. Dishes. Dishes, ladies and gentlemen. How about pitchers, bowls, spoons, and forks, and sporks, spatulas, mixing spoons. They sell all this stuff on commissaries across the United States. The most popular are water pitchers, bowls, and spoons. They are the most popular. And they range in price per item from $3.26 all the way up to $11.10. Next item is salmon, shrimp, and oysters are sold on commissaries across the United States. They are sold in small packages of, there are 2.25 ounces all the way up to a 3.5 ounce package of again, salmon, shrimp, and oysters. They're individually packaged, not all of it in one package. But they can buy shrimp, oysters, and salmon on the commissary in quite a few prisons across the United States. Next item is plastic mirrors, like a little handheld mirror. It may not have a handle on it, or it may have an actual handle, and these are flexible, so they're not rigid, and it's just a plastic, a piece of plastic with a like a sticker on the inside of it that is reflective. They're meant for shaving, but you can guess what other inmates might be using it for. Look around the corner and see if the guard's coming, stuff like that. But they use them for all different sorts of things. But they do sell actual little plastic mirrors. Really? Come on. They didn't sell that stuff in where I went to prison. Unsubscribe, unsubscribe. As a bonus, I looked this up on the commissary for the Dodge Correction Center, along with the Oklahoma Plains prison in Oklahoma, where Josh Duggar might be sent. On the commissary there, they sell robes on both commissaries. On the Dodge Correction Center's commissary, they sell robes, one size fits all, $35.10 for a robe. At the Prison Plains Correction Center, where Josh Duggar might be sent, they sell a robe, one size fits all, for $45.50. They sell robes. So that's a bonus item for everybody out there. Again, there are a lot of unique items that are sold on commissaries across the United States. Some limit commissary purchases on numbers of items that may be purchased in a commissary, or quantity of items, or total dollar value. But when it comes to commissary, A lot of different things are sold to inmates that to kind of have some kind of dignity, to make things a little bit easier on their time. Should they? You have to comment down the comment section if you believe that these items should be sold to inmates. But thank you for joining me today. You have a terrific day today. Hey, look, I put on pants today to make another video for you. Thank you for joining me today.